So our agenda is that first of all, we're gonna present and we're gonna talk about this program, HelMSIC Exchanges. Then we're gonna learn a little bit more information about Greece and some useful information for your arrival. Following that, Mrs. Evika Karamanoli, the Deputy Director of the Postgraduate Program Global Health and Disaster Medicine, is going to talk to us about the superpower of culture. By the end of that, we're gonna get to know our LCs. We're going to be divided into breakout rooms so you can meet your local committee, the members of it, your contact persons, your CPs, and your hosts. So you know the people that organize your exchange, and I'm waiting for you. And last but not least, we're gonna have some time for questions. And of course, we're gonna take a picture. So feel free to ask us anything you want. This is the time. And we need you to be as well prepared and well informed for your upcoming exchange. So with that being said, let's start with our HelMSIC exchanges. So HelMSIC has been part of the IFMSA exchanges program since its creation in 1958. I forgot to mention that because some people could not join today, we were planning on recording that session and sending it to everyone. So we just wanted to let you know if anybody has any, I don't know, problems or whatever, you can just type it in the chat. Okay, so let's continue. HelMSIC has been part of the IFMSA Exchanges program since its creation in 1958, and that is the reason why it was created, to give the opportunity to medical students to do an exchange abroad and to get to know other health systems. Every year since then, around 200 students participate in the exchanges program, and this year you are the lucky ones. We have contracts with more than 40 countries around the world from all 5 IFMSA regions. So our exchanges program consists of both professional and research exchanges, and the duration is 4 weeks, as you may have seen in our exchanges conditions. We have 7 local committees, as many as the medical faculties in Greece, and all of them are Skopje and Skopje active at the moment. So let's take a look at our local committees, and you'll have the time later in the breakout room to actually get to know more about each city. So first of all, Athens. On the left, you can see Acropolis, one of the main attractions of Greece. And on the right, Plaka, which is one of the most traditional neighborhoods. Followed by Alexandroupolis, it's the city in the north of Greece, near the border with Turkey, and it has amazing views, sunsets, as you can see. This is Heraklion, Crete, one of the biggest, I think the biggest island of Greece and one of the most beautiful ones. It's the perfect destination for our summer vacation. Followed by Thessaloniki, this is the second biggest city of Greece. On the right, we can see one of the most colorful neighborhoods, which is Anopoli. The translation is like upper city, upper town. And on the left, we can see Lefkos Pyrgos. It is one of the main attractions city near the sea. Followed by Ioannina. This is my local community where I'm from and where I actually study. And we have a lake. The name is Pambotida. And actually, it's one of the, I think, only lakes in the world that actually have an island that is inhabited. It has great views, very picturesque near the lake, especially in the summer. This is Larissa. And last but not least, this is Patras, with the amazing view, again, near the sea. So, one of your first questions, I believe, when you get ready for your exchange is your accommodation. Where are we going to stay? So we offer accommodation in student dorms, apartments, or hostel rooms, especially in the summer. And maybe or maybe not, you have been informed about your accommodation. If not, you will be informed very, very shortly. Concerning our boarding, we provide at least 1 meal per working day in the school cafeteria or hospital restaurant. And some local committees in the summer provide pocket money if the cafeteria is closed. So, moving on to our social program, which is actually the highlight, as mentioned by other incomings in the previous years. Of course, during the exchange, there is a social program, and there are many different activities like rafting, crafts, movies, tours around the city, and trips to nearby cities or other attractions and beaches. The social programs takes place every month in each one of our LCs, and it's one of the highlights of our exchanges. So here we have some pictures of the social program in the previous years. On the left, this is Irene. She's our acting Leo and Laura in Ioannina with one of our incomings in the lake and the sunrise, I believe. On the right, we have some incomings with the local students of Iraklion. There you can see Andromachi, which is our NORP and our acting Laura for this year. You're gonna meet her if you're going to Iraklion. Then we have, I believe, a goodbye or a welcome dinner, again by the local committee of Iraklion. We can see again Andromachi. And on the back, we can see Thomais, which is our previous NEO and current SecGen. On the left, we have the local committee of Thessaloniki with our incomings. You can see Elena, which is the local president of the committee. We have Maria, which is the vice president of public and communication. And she's right here, you can see her. And we're gonna meet her if you are going to Thessaloniki too. And on the right, we have again a goodbye dinner, I believe, by the local committee of Iraklion. Apart from Andromachi, you can actually see Marianina, this photo, which is our future Nora and current local committee president. And here we have a goodbye dinner. I hope that by the end of your exchange, you'll have that many smiles and hugs, and that you have enjoyed your exchange as much as they did. So, as you may have noticed, we have our the big number of incomings come in June, July, August, and September, our summer months, very popular in Greece too. So we have an organizing committee in order to organize better exchanges for you, called the exchange team, led by a chair. Regarding our academic quality, we started looking for tutors in the departments and laboratories as early as in December, in order to make sure that we have enough spots to host all of our incomings, and we can actually accommodate your choices. Here we can see some pictures from the OR, from the hospital corridor with the scrubs on, and maybe some educational activities in the laboratory. And again, more pictures of the OR. Get ready to take as many pictures. We love them, and it's going to be an amazing experience for you too. We hope that you enjoyed it the most, the possible.
Hello,
so let's hear now. Okay, let's hear now one of the videos of our previous incomings.
Hello, my name is Leticia. I'm a fourth-year medical student in Brazil, and I did a clinical exchange in cardiovascular surgery in Heraklion, Greece. This experience was amazing. The University Hospital of Heraklion is incredible and with a lot of opportunities. My tutor, the other doctors, workers, and students really welcomed me, and I didn't have difficulty to include me in the hospital routine, and I could see a lot of procedures. Besides that, I could enjoy the country. I did a lot of amazing friends that received me and helped me with everything. And of course, we're having so much fun together. So thank you so much, HelMSIC. It was amazing.
Okay, so we hope that your experience is actually as good as hers, and that you enjoy every part of the exchange that our local committees have organized for you. And apart from the pre-arrival training that we're doing now, We host upon arrival trainings in every local community in person with specific details about its city and university, and an educational part about research education, global health, and health systems. During the first days of your arrival in Greece, it will take place. And in this training, we will set ground rules, we get to know each other, and we start becoming a team. Apart from the educational trainings that we have also educational activities throughout your exchange month. So some of them may be a BLS, suturing workshops, trainings about human rights, research workshops, etc. This year, actually, for the first time, we have a special subgroup in the exchanges organizing committee for educational activities to ensure that high-quality educational activities are organized in all the LCs. So in every LC, you will have at least one educational activity per month. Please, we urge you to go to visit, and it's going to be amazing and very useful. So the highlight of our exchange, of our educational activities, is here in exchanges, a humanitarian medicine experience. So HERN is one of our oldest programs in HelMSIC, organized in collaboration with Médecins du Monde from 2011. So this year, you will actually have the chance to go and volunteer at the polyclinics of Médecins du Monde. It will happen in July and in the local committees of Athens and Thessaloniki. It's an amazing opportunity to get to have that experience and to get to know how is working at the polyclinics of an NGO. So the registration form will be distributed to you very, very shortly, and run to get selected. Moving on to an as exciting thing of our exchanges, which is none other than the HelMSIC exchanges merch. We have a t-shirt, a bracelet, as you can see, a tote bag, and a pin specifically for our HelMSIC exchanges. It was designed during this year, so unfortunately it won't be available in June, but it will be available from July and forward. So if you want to be the best dressed in Cummings this year, run to buy it. We have limited amounts, and we follow a first come, first served policy. Apart from our HelMSIC exchanges merch, we also have the HelMSIC merch, our animal merch, with numerous products, a big variety. We have a blue t-shirt with our logo, a white t-shirt again with our logo, a jacket, a hoodie, which is my favorite. It's amazing. A tote bag, perfect for the summer. A mug with our slogan, which is be more than a medical student. A makeup bag, but very convenient for a travel bag too. A thermos and a bucket hat, which is actually my favorite in the summer. I wear it all the time. So we will send to you after the training the merch catalog, where you can see all the pricing and you can order anything you want. Please, please, please let us know if you want to buy something 2 weeks prior to your departure, because we want to have time to actually send it to your local committee. You have time till then, so think about it. Pick your items, pick your products, order them so you can have amazing pictures throughout your exchange. After that being said, and after having acquired a clue of our exchanges program, then we're gonna have to talk about Greece. So how is the country that you're gonna visit? I hope you're excited. Some of you may have visited in the past, some not. So it's not a Kahoot time, but it's like a Kahoot time. We're gonna have a very short quiz. So I'm gonna read the questions, and you can try to find the correct answer and type it in the chat as soon as possible. So, are you ready? 1, 2, 3. What is the currency in Greece? 1, euro. 2, British pound. 3, US dollar. 4, Swiss franc. Amazing. I see that you have selected one. Yes, it's actually euro. Greece has been in the European Union since 2000 and uses euro since 2001. So next question, congratulations to the ones that actually found the correct answer. So how many geographical regions does Greece have? 7, 9, 5, or 2? This is a little bit harder. I see 5, I see 7, 7. Yes, I saw 9. That is the correct answer. Greece has 9 geographical regions. Moving on, what is the most prominent religion in Greece? Amazing, lots of threes. Yes, Christianity and specifically Orthodoxy is the most prominent religion in Greece. However, Greece is a free country for every religion. We have a lot of mosques too. So, what is the population of Greece? Are we a very big country? Are we a smaller country? I see, yes, I see a lot of correct answers. The answer 4 is the correct one. We are 10.4 million as of 2023, I believe. And half of the population actually lives in Athens. Moving on, what is the second biggest city in Greece? I think that I spilled the tea a little bit before. Yes, it's actually Thessaloniki. The ones that heard me before know it. Patras, I believe it's the third biggest country, and Ioannina, it's a smaller city. So moving on, what is the climate in Greece? Is it equatorial? Is it Mediterranean? Is it polar? Or maybe tropical? Yes, it's actually Mediterranean. We have a little bit cold winters, but very dry summers. So, on that being said, how is the weather going to be in the summer? Raining, cold and foggy? I hope not. Hot temperatures and dry weather, or chilly? Yes, I believe that you found it correctly. Hot temperatures and dry weather in the majority of the places. And when is the Greek Independence Day? We have a lot of national holidays in Greece, but when is our Independence Day? Amazing. I'm very impressed that you actually know this. Congratulations to everyone that said 2. So May 1st is the Labor Day. March 25th is actually our Independence Day. October 28th is the Ohi Day, as we call it. And August 15th is a religion celebration about the Dormition of Holy Mary in Greece. So congratulations. That was the quick quiz. I think that you have studied about Greece because you know a lot of it, and I'm very impressed. Congratulations, and I hope that you learn more. So some facts about Greece that maybe they are useful. Greece, and we call it officially the Hellenic Republic, is a country in the Southeast Europe, on the southern tip of the Balkan Peninsula, and we share land borders with Albania, North Macedonia and Bulgaria to the north, and Turkey to the east. You can see a map of Greece too. Moving on, Greece has the longest coastline on the Mediterranean, featuring thousands of islands. The country comprises of 9 traditional geographic regions, as we mentioned, and has a population of over 10 million, 10.4 to be exact. Athens is the nation's capital and largest city, followed by Thessaloniki and Patras. Greece is considered the cradle of Western civilization, being the birthplace of democracy, Western philosophy, Western literature, historiography, political science, mathematical principles, and of course, the Olympic Games. The Olympic Games were actually started in Greece many years ago. So even if Greece is like we picture it in our minds as a city, as a country with many, many islands, the 80% of Greece actually consists of mountains or hills, and it's one of the most mountainous in Europe. So Mount Olympus, the mythical abode of the Greek gods, for the ones that love mythology, is the highest in the country. Apart from the mountains, as we mentioned, we have a vast number of islands, thousands of islands, but only 227 of them are inhabited. And Crete, where Heraklion is the largest and most populous island. Greece is relatively homogeneous in linguistic terms, with a large majority of the native population using Greek as their first or maybe only language, especially if we're talking about older generations. The road and rail network is the most extensive as the Southern Europe. Railway connections play a lesser role than in many other European countries, and all major islands are served by ferries to the mainland. Piraeus, the port of Athens, was the third busiest passenger port in Europe as of 2021. Moving on to the healthcare that some of you may experience in our hospitals. Greece has been trying for universal healthcare. The system is mixed, combining a national health service with social health insurance. So, to the other part, discovering Greece. What should you visit? What should you try? So, regarding the cuisine, if you have heard about Greece, maybe you have visited in the past, you have tried the famous Greek salad. I think it's one of the most famous salads in Europe, of course, followed by gyros, which is one of our traditional and very common street foods in Greece. A little bit like shawarma, maybe. And moussaka is one of our traditional dishes with eggplant. So, what are some of the must-visit places in Greece? First of all, we have Santorini with beautiful views, amazing sunsets, followed by Sydney, an island, and the Aegean, which is one of the most colorful ones. And Zagorhoria, it's where I live, like very close. It has beautiful views, as you can see, and a very picturesque scenery. Moving on, all the islands of the Cyclades are incredible. It's what we picture of Greece, wild little islands with blue windows and doors, amazing beaches. Of course, you should try. There we have Mani, which is in the Peloponnese with beautiful beaches. And Corfu, which has, I would say, an Italian or French taste, more colorful and amazing. So, who wants to try to say some basic Greek words? We have a lot of them, so a lot of you can try.
I can try.
Yes, go on.
Kalimera.
Amazing.
I'm sorry. Kalispera.
Mm-hmm.
And the good night word, I don't know how to pronounce.
It's kalinichta.
Kalinichta.
Amazing. You're very good.
Thank you so much.
So anyone else that wanna try?
And thank you, Afghanistan.
Yes.
Sorry, I don't know any other words.
It's okay. You will have time to learn. Anyone else that wants to take a look, take a try?
Yeah, me.
Mm-hmm.
Σε αγαπώ.
Yes. I love you. Amazing.
Ευχαριστώ.
Mm-hmm.
I'll leave the rest to you guys.
Okay. Thank you so much. Amazing. So let's go to the other ones. Okay, so we have also these ones. Who else wants to try it? Your pronunciation, guys, is amazing. Okay, I can read some of them. So yes, it's ne. And no is όχι. Very useful words, I believe. And congratulations is bravo. I don't understand is δεν καταλαβαίνω. Maybe you'll use that word to say you don't understand maybe Greek, but you have time to actually learn. Okay, so moving on after that quick practice of Greek, what should you pack? One of the most important things is your visa, your passport, your ID, all your travel documents that you may need, as well as the proof of healthcare insurance. Moving on, money. So we mentioned that in Greece we have euro. I think the majority of places take cards too, but I would suggest that you bring some cash too in case you want to buy something from a little shop or maybe use a taxi that usually they don't have by POS for cards. Bring your power plug and proper adapters. And clothes, of course, according to the weather and the social program. Then we want to see your food, we want to taste it for the NFDP and your flag. We want to take amazing pictures with all of your flags. And of course, your stethoscope, maybe your lab coat or your scrubs, depending on the department that you're gonna be in. So with that being said, we move to our next agenda point, which is the superpower of culture. And I want to welcome Mrs. Evika Karamagioli, the Deputy Director of the Postgraduate Program in Global Health and Disaster Medicine. Mrs. Karamagioli, you have the floor.
So thank you very much. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be with you once more. Can you hear me? Okay. So thank you very much. I would like me also to welcome all the young doctors that are coming to Greece. You're going to have the opportunity to meet us in the third department of surgery, because every year we have this good and fruitful collaboration with several of you. And I really hope that you enjoy as much as you can Greece, because it's a very powerful experience for those who haven't been already. For the next few minutes, what I would like to do is I would like to stress a little bit this cultural factor and why it's important. For you as young scientists and young professionals that are coming to Greece. So I would like to highlight some elements that I'm sure that you will find them fruitful generally in your medical career. So I would like to start with a question, and the question is the following. Can you just very briefly write to the chat where are you coming from? So that we know around which countries are coming to Greece this time. So Romania, France, Spain, Mexico, Lithuania, France, Portugal. Great. Palestine, Jordan. Great. So literally we are Kurdistan. Hi, Mohammed. So literally we are an international environment already. Give me 1 second to share my screen. You're gonna see a typical Greek screen. Okay. Can you now can you see my PowerPoint?
We can see.
Great. So let's start. What is culture? Feel free to jump in and say some ideas. So, what is culture? Anyone? Come on, guys. You are coming to Greece. You're gonna have the experience of your life. Come on, let's start. What is culture?
Everything that makes Greece and not another country.
Okay, but let's not focus on Greece. But okay, we can understand. Thank you so much. What else? What is culture?
It's the people, the work, the I don't know, ancestry that is put in together and makes one peace.
Yes. So it's the bonds. Okay, what else? Is food the culture? An element of a culture?
Yes, of course.
Yes, of course. Is music?
Yes.
Is culture some drawings?
Yes.
Okay. The religion?
Yes, it is.
It is. Yes or no?
Yes, everything.
Yes, yes.
It's everything that bonds people. And you, as young doctors, do you think that you need to know the culture of somebody, or you need to know cultural elements when you're going to be asked to treat your patients, or when you're going to be asked to do some shadowing in a clinic? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Why?
Because Because
Why
it's
will you be needing it?
to
It's
understand
different
them.
in every country, and it really can make a difference how one is understanding the other person.
Great, so that you will be able to understand one another, and with your patients or with your colleagues that you're going to be in the same clinic, or the people who you're going to meet. Okay, what else? Why else you need culture?
In order to understand the patient's way of living,
Uh-huh. And why we need to know the patient's way of living?
what diseases they could like have
Hmm.
due
And
to
great,
what they
great.
eat or
What
things.
else? What else do we need? Think of your first. I'm sure that you have been in clinics so far, but think of your, let's say the first the first minutes that you are in a room with patients, or you are in the emergency department. Why you need to know the culture of people, or even if you don't literally know exactly where they are coming from, at least be able to understand from the way they are dressed, they talk, they behave, some elements of them. Why do you need it? An idea?
Maybe if you can treat them in a certain way, for example, Yehovists, they cannot have blood transfers, and you have to keep it in mind that you cannot treat them that way.
Okay, yeah, an interesting element. Yeah, thank you. And also if you think about it, well, you as medical doctors, what you're going to do, you're going to interact with people. So what you're doing is totally humanistic, and in order to be able to interact with people, the patients or the colleagues in the hospitals, or young scientists as yourself, you need somehow people to trust you. And the way, if you think about it, in your relations, in your personal relations, people trust us when they know that somehow we can understand them. And by seeing the small cultural signs in everybody that you have in front of you, somehow you can be able to understand where they are coming from, and react to them in a way that it's very inclusive. So culture in the medical science and in the medical profession, the respect of culture, or at least the understanding of culture, goes hand with trust, with meaningful interaction with people, with you being able to do your job in a better and more meaningful way. In general terms, culture is a set of values, beliefs, practices, and objects that people share in common and that define them as a group. And it's really, really powerful, and I'm sure you're going to feel it in Greece, that when you come from a different environment, when you have a language barrier, and just like as you're going to have a small language barrier, even if everybody speaks English, it's important somehow to identify this way of communicating, even if it's not verbal, with the people and the persons that you have in front of you. And you have seen this wonderful team of HelMSIC now. They have started by presenting what is Greece, how is the weather, how you have the geographical allocation. These are all elements that will be useful for you, not only for Greece, but in every country that you're going to be. And what is art? What is art? Come on.
A form of expression.
A form of expression. Okay. Yes. Thank you. What else? Give me examples of art.
Music, paintings,
Music, painting.
dance.
Yes. Narration. Is narration one form of art?
Yes.
Where do you use narratives in your profession? Or at least where you're going to be wonderful professionals? Is narrative important for you? Is storytelling important for you?
Yes.
Yes.
What's the key example of a storytelling that you're going to face or you have already faced in the hospital?
Explaining a patient their illness,
And even before that?
presenting yourself and
Presenting yourself, yeah. And even before that? What's the first narrative that you have, that you create with your patient together when you see them for the first time?
Maybe when the patient explains why they are seeing us, why they are there.
Exactly. When you do the first medical interview, that's a narrative. And it's so important that these have several elements so that you will be able to understand exactly what's the case, somehow understand and start interacting and creating the circle of trust with your patient, be able to explain who you are, where you're coming from, and what you want to do with the patient. So you're going to see it in the Greek hospitals how important it is when they are doing this the rounds, and you're going to be there, and they will introduce you, or they will go back and talk to you in English, so they explain to you what's happening and everything. It's really important to be part of this narrative and be able also you to express yourself and say who you are, what you're doing, and everything. Because at least in our department, in the surgical department, you're going to be asked to do several medical things, and there it's important to use a narrative. Okay, so art is the different media such as painting, sculpture, printmaking, drawing, decorative photography, installations, and everything. So clearly, art is a part of this culture, I think. And what is the superpower of art? Does art have a superpower?
Maybe that it can connect all kinds of different people.
Exactly, but why?
One doesn't need to speak the same language or be of the
Exactly.
same
You don't need
interest.
to speak the same language. You don't even need to speak. Or you can just create something. You can be in a situation of equity with others when you ask them all together to do something. You can express yourself, or others can express themselves in a way that they couldn't do it otherwise. They have no boundaries. Art doesn't have boundaries, doesn't have language barriers. And the most important, in many cases, you don't need many resources to do art. So you're going to see that this part of culture, art, is getting a bigger ground of discussion in the medical area in order to be used as a mean that improves the relationship between either the medical professionals and the patients, or the medical professionals and the patients and their families, and even more among professionals, medical professionals, and the other healthcare professionals as a group. So, if you want and you are interested to that, there are many literature articles, scientific literature articles that you can find on that. And WHO has also recently published a very big, the first report on how art can be used in the medical profession as a tool. For the next few minutes, I will start with what is intercultural mediation and what is intercultural dialogue, and we're going to see all together this. Give me 1 second. We're going to see all together this video where exactly it explains what culture is and what culture means in our medical profession. So, give me 1 second. Can you see it? Hmm?
I can see it, yes.
Yes.
Can you see the video? Okay, just tell me if you hear it.
I don't think that we can see.
I can hear it.
Me neither.
I also cannot hear it.
Unfortunately, we cannot hear the video, but maybe you can send it to us, the link, and we can share it with the participants afterwards. Mrs. Karamagioli, can you hear us? Okay, I think that maybe she cannot hear us, but she is going to be back in a few seconds. Mrs. Karamagioli, can you hear us now? Okay. We'll have a few 1 or 2 minutes so to check if she can hear us or there is a technical issue. And we will continue. And that time, think of what she said. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask her in the end. We have some time for questions too. Mrs. Evika, can you hear us now?
The power band at my house was off. Really sorry for that. So let's continue and also keep in mind the 3 elements that were mentioned about empathy, trust, and this need for communication. I will follow up with.
Unfortunately, we could not hear the video, but maybe
You
if
hear
you...
it?
No, unfortunately, but
Okay, so maybe I can share it with you and you can share it with each other.
yes,
Okay.
exactly.
All right. So, but the key idea was exactly what I was mentioning to you, that through this intercultural mediation and this intercultural part in the hospital and in the healthcare section, we can promote empathy and building this circle of trust. And in many cases, and in many hospitals, and I'm sure in several countries from which you are coming from, in the hospitals we also have this intercultural mediation, which means that people, depending on their group, on their cultural characteristics, can find supporters and can find facilitators for their everyday interaction with the healthcare units and the professions. Let's go to another thing now, and this is the case study I would like to discuss with you, and I will be presenting it for the next few minutes. When we are talking about emergency situations and when we are talking about emergency populations, have you ever been able to hear or to see how art can help? How can art be a tool for resilience and strengthening the resilience and strengthening the psychosocial capacities of people in need? And you don't have to think about only hospitals, but also think about people coming from crisis environments or people that are in the field, because you as medical doctors, and I've seen that you're going to be working with doing some practice in Médecins du Monde, you will be asked for sure to interact with people that are in the field or people that had been facing different natural disaster or people that have been facing man-made disaster like what's happening now in several places of our world, and they will be coming to your hospital or they will be coming to your healthcare units. So there is this, let's say, discussion of how we can, at least for the first hours or for the first time that people are in the field, use art to make whatever we discussed so far, to strengthen these people, to be able to understand exactly what are their needs and support them. And I will be presenting you this safe space in emergencies through art, which is not a literal place. In emergency, you don't have safe spaces per se, but it's this concept of safe space as a state of mind. It's a project called Art Tellers, Young Art Tellers, that we have been developing through several years. I don't know if we have people from UK here, but we worked with this NGO AMNA, which is it's from UK, and they are really specialized in trauma. And what we are doing is that we have been focusing on children in Ukraine, in Syria, in different children Roma, in Greece, and also in different Greek settings where we had disasters, in order to provide psychosocial resilience and support through art. What we did, and what was the idea was to be able to develop this sense of community for these people and increase the communication that they had. So what we did is that we tried to find a means to address this sense of collective trauma. And what is collective trauma? Collective trauma is what people feel when they face all in the same time as a crisis situation or emergency response. And when something like that happens and it's a chaotic situation, the first thing that needs to be done is you need to be able to somehow have those people in a situation that they can interact and they can communicate with you and they can follow what you say, because you're gonna see that in many cases, and it doesn't have to be in emergency response settings, but it can also be in hospitals, emergency departments. Whoever of you go to big hospitals in Athens, you're going to see what it means to have in one night like 1,000 people coming with health issues. So it's stressful situation, it's chaotic situation, and there you need somehow to be able to find ways to communicate with people. This idea was to create some interventions of 4 weeks through storytelling, crafts, music, dance, in order exactly to be able to help people face what they were facing. I will show you some photos. These are people from Ukraine. It was people that came in Greece during the first period of the Ukraine crisis, and they were all sitting in the same space. There were people that didn't know each other. There were children from different ages. Some children had caregivers, others had mothers. They had very, very intense feeling of whatever they had left behind, and they were all stuck together. People that didn't know each other. And what we did is, through these activities, we tried to create a sense of community. We tried to make medical assessments to them. We explored all possibilities in order for them to be able to live together. Storytelling was one of the key tools that we used. And if you see here that we asked them to craft stories, and you can see that they had all similar ways of presenting things. The same, okay, this is how we evaluated the project. I would like to go to this. The same thing was used in camps. This is a camp in Lesbos, where we had asked children living there how they were thinking of themselves, what were the challenges that they were facing. We tried to support the mothers through expression, through the storytelling regarding the health status of their children. The same thing was used in Africa, in Tanzania. Every year in the medical course, in the medical master that we have, we go to Tanzania for 1 month and we offer healthcare services to people there. So there you can see photos from children in a self-organized community where they, for the first time, they had Legos. You can see the Legos, or they were asked to picture something. They had never pictured themselves. They have never seen a picture, or they were asking we were asking them to see how they feel about themselves and everything, and had discussions about that. Through that, we had also a part of healthcare provision and recognition of their needs. Art also can be used in other settings. You're going to see, if you go and work with Médecins du Monde, how important is this inclusion part, especially when we're talking about refugees. Using art in order to create graffitis or collective activities also empowers people and their sense of living together, because right now in Greece, one of the major challenges is how to be inclusive, literally, with the services that we are providing in different populations. And this is something which is totally medical, even if it has to do with stories. It concerns one problem that mothers coming from Arabic countries had and they had to give birth in Greece, was the language barrier and the cultural barrier. We had asked them to narrate stories and give instructions or proposals to medical doctors and to midwives on how they would like to be treated. And this has started a big dialogue through us in several hospitals in Greece regarding how you could include cultural part in the way the health in the midwife and gynecological healthcare provision was offered. And this is in Arabic. I'm sure some colleagues would recognize the words. And in order to conclude, when you're going to be in the hospitals, when you're going to be working with people either in disaster settings or in hospitals, it's important to be able to create this circle of trust with people. It's important to be able to be consistent in what you are offering. It's important to be able to respect the culture the persons that you have in front of you. And if we want to criticize a little bit ourselves, the thing is that you need to be adaptable and flexible. And this is something that came to us as evident through all its activities. And this is something that I want to see you a little bit. This is something that you need to have in your mind when you are working in Greece. Flexibility and adaptability are skills that you're going to be asked to have, and it's something that you need to develop as medical doctors. And just think out of the box. The medical profession is something which is very powerful, inspirational. You need to be able to find ways to interact with your colleagues, your patients. You need to follow protocols and everything, but it's a humanistic perspective of things, being a doctor. So think out of the box, use your experiences, try to get in touch and to be in really contact with your patients and your colleagues. That's all from me. Thank you so much. And we will be very happy to have you in Attiko Hospital. And we will be happy if, Kasmina, if you want to do some practical parts in our master program, we are open to have you and to host you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was actually one of the most interesting speeches that I've ever heard, the correlation between art, healthcare, and interculturality, of course. So we have, I think, around 5 minutes. If you want to take some questions, maybe, if the participants have.
Of course, if there's something. But I'm telling you, we are really open, and when you come to Greece, come and find us. We are in the medical school. So if you have ideas, if you want something, we really want to support, and the HelMSIC knows that we are very open.
Thank you so much. So if you have any question, please feel free, either type them in the chat or raise your virtual hand.
I think they want to be in the rooms to see with who will be the coordinators and, you know, talk about logistics and how they will be coming to Greece.
Okay, so if there are no questions, we're gonna move to the breakout
It was
room.
great talking to you, seeing you. We will be in touch. Thank you so much. And I really hope you enjoy your time in Greece. Ciao, bye. Bye-bye. Ciao.
Thank you so much for being here. Okay, amazing. So we saw that Ms. Karamagioli mentioned a lot of things, and of course, as medical students and future health professionals, we should always keep them in mind. So moving on now to our next point, I'm going to open the breakout rooms. The ones that have already received your CAs, please choose the breakout room with your hosting local committee. If you have not yet received your CA and you do not know which local committee you will be in, you can just go to the one that is your first choice. And if you have any questions, some of us, we're gonna stay in the main room here. You can ask us anytime, anything you want. So you will give me 1 minute to open all the breakout rooms, and we'll have around 15 minutes to 20 minutes so you can actually meet the people in the local committees, the people that have helped with organizing your exchange. Maybe you can ask them anything you want logistically. And